Hi, welcome back. My name's Katrina. Can I ask you to please like, subscribe and hit the notification bell to be notified of any of my upcoming videos. And first of all, I just want to explain this video isn't my normal beauty box or advent calendar unboxing. So this is a bit about grief and suicide. So please, if you have any kind of triggers or this will upset you, please don't watch any further. I just wanted to explain why I haven't been really uploading the last week or so. First of all, I'm a mum of 3. I'm 46 years of age. But unfortunately, 6 years ago, my daughter died from a sudden illness. She passed away in her sleep. Now, things have been hard. I have 2 boys, who I love very much. And they have kept me going. But of course, naturally, I have good days and I have bad days. But I don't want to go into too many details, but the situation of our death left me traumatised, and I was diagnosed with PTSD. And afterwards, I suffered a lot of anxiety and I developed OCD. And then, unfortunately, my partner committed suicide 2 years after my daughter died. Now that was hard. 2 deaths in 2 years is a lot to cope with. But some days, to be honest, I didn't know whether I was grieving for my daughter or for my partner, Freddie. And in my heart, he'll always be my Freddie. The circumstances was that, you look at me now and all the makeup I buy, and I live in I am lucky enough now to have a 3-bedroom council house. But 6 years ago, I wasn't that lucky. Me and my daughter were homeless due to the landlord selling the house, and we literally couldn't find anywhere else. The housing crisis in Ireland is just, I know there's crises everywhere, but for such a small country, they're just not equipped to deal with a homeless situation. So me and my daughter ended up in a hostel. And God love her. She was terrified at the start, but the people we met in there were the best people you could ever have met, really and truly. And they were there for me after she died. But unfortunately, I had nowhere else to go, so I had to go back to the hostel that she died in. And in fact, the same room that she died in. So I was left with a lot of mental health issues after that. And that's where I met my Freddie. I met him in a homeless hostel. See, people think homeless hostels are the dregs of society. There's junkies and there's addicts and alcoholics. And yeah, there are some of them. But a lot of people are homeless through no fault of their own. There is plenty of decent people. And I remember posting on Facebook that I was homeless and having, people saying I should be saying that. But why not? I was homeless. That wasn't my fault I was homeless. It wasn't my fault my daughter was homeless. That was just the situation and the cards we were dealt with. Well, so I met Freddie in the hostel, and he wasn't my type at all. He was covered in tattoos, he had a beard, and he had ginger hair. Now, I've nothing against people with ginger hair. I just mean I'd never dated, anybody. It was normally bald men I went for. But Freddie thought I wasn't coping, I wasn't surviving, I wasn't eating, I wasn't sleeping. And even though we had only met, he took me under his wing. Because my daughter, I know people say all their children are great and whatever else. But me and Claudia had a special connection. I was only 19 having her. She was my first. She was my only girl. Say a girl, but she was a tomboy. Tracksuits and t-shirts and hoodies. You wouldn't have caught her in any makeup or a handbag. Short hair she had, even though she had it long when she was younger. When she got old enough, she cut her. She said, I'm sick and tired of you putting my hair in pigtails. But anyway, I'm going off on a tangent. I'm just saying that my daughter was not only my daughter, she was my best friend. We had a great relationship. Now, that doesn't mean I didn't love my sons, but a relationship with a daughter is different for a mother. It's the same way a relationship with fathers have with their sons. She really was very special. You know, and it really hit me hard. In fact, for 6 months after she died, in my head she had gone to visit my sister. My sister lives in another part of Ireland. And I think the only way I coped after she died was saying to myself that she was down visiting Karen and she'd be back soon. And God loved me. I believed that. I tried to believe that for 6 months. Because the actual thought of never seeing her again would have destroyed me. You know? I'm sorry if I don't seem to be looking at the camera, looking around. I'm trying not to cry. So when I met Freddie, he really was my rock. He was there for me. But God loved me. He had his own demons. He was a lovely man, but he was diagnosed paranoid schizophrenic, or he had paranoid schizophrenia. Now, he was a true gentleman, it really was. And the only person he ever hurt at the end of the day was himself. And, knew he was depressed, knew he was suffering, and we were trying to access the mental health services here for him, which they failed him terribly. And God loved him. The only person he ever hurt was himself. We had a great weekend. He died on a Monday. And we had a great weekend. We were making plans. We had moved into a little cottage, a little derelict cottage, and we were going to be making it, doing her up together. It's coming out of a homeless situation. You take any way you can get. We had to move out of the county we were homeless in somewhere else. And we took this little 1-bedroom cottage. It was tiny. And we bought a cooker for it, and he was fixing up the garden to plant his own vegetables and everything. And he loved his fishing. In the summer when it was nice, I lived in a place called Belturbet in Cavan. Now, Cavan in Ireland is a beautiful county. It's full of lakes. There's 365 lakes, one for every day of the year. And the reason he chose Cavan to move to was for the fishing. So some summer days when it was really nice out, I would take my book with me and he'd bring his fishing rod and we'd find a lovely spot by the river and I'd read my book and he'd fish. So that Monday morning when he got up with me, I smoked at the time, and he rolled me a fag and he made me a cup of coffee and said, I'm going to go fishing, Katrina. And that was the last time I saw her, and he kissed me and said, I'll see you soon. And I got a knock at the door an hour later from the police, the guards we call them here in Ireland, from the guard to say that Freddie had hung himself down by the river. Now, the suffer the death of my daughter was bad enough, but the suffer the death of Freddie was just unbearable. But you know what? I try not to but I try not to be sad too much. I allow myself every now and again a day of having an old cry. And then I get up and I say to myself, now come on, it's time to be strong again. And I get up and I put one foot in front of the other and I keep going. But it's hard. My life will never be the same without my daughter. I always say, I broke the day she died. The Katrina you see here now, yeah, I might have a little laugh and a joke on the videos and stuff, but I was a completely different person. I think of my life now in the terms of before clothing and after clothing. And I'm not saying any of this stuff for anybody, for pity or for sympathy or anything. I'm just saying that my mistake was I didn't ask for help. I suffered. I suppose not that I didn't ask for help for a long time. And by the time I asked, there was too long of a waiting list. So 6 years later and I still haven't received counselling for Clodagh. So I'm just saying to anybody out there, if they're in any way struggling or feeling down or things are getting on top of them, reach out. There are organisations I found later on, like the Samaritans, and in Ireland there is a suicide charity, a bereavement charity run by a chap. It's called SOSAD, SOSAD, and it's run by a chap who lost his son to suicide. You know, but if anybody's feeling bad like that and thinking that they can't cope, please ask for help. Now, I think the mistake my Freddie made was that he didn't want to tell me how bad he was. He didn't want me worrying, because I have my own health problems and diabetes and osteoporosis and arthritis and stuff. And he was the strong one, and he was the one always looking out for me. And when there was times when he was ill, I helped him as best I could, you know. I love that man. I would have took that illness from him if I could have, you know. But I couldn't. So I done my best for him. And I just think he didn't want me worrying about him. And I think if he had realised how much devastated everybody would have been after he was gone, maybe he wouldn't have done it. I think at that time he thought he was better off. People were better off without him, and that is never, ever, ever the case. And this is from somebody who was bereaved by suicide. It's not. Suicide leaves a lot of answers for people, answers that we have to accept and we'll never get, you know. So I suppose I'm just really making this video to explain that I am going to try to do 2 videos a week. I'm going to get up in the morning and give myself a kick up the bum and say, right, Katrina, today, come on, get up and do something. And I'm going to try. But I want to say to anybody that is struggling, please ask for help. Life is never, ever, ever better without you. Your loved ones will miss you. You won't realise the amount of crying and upset you'll cause. And I know it's not your fault, and yes, definitely, like, I never blamed my Freddie. There was people out there who told me I should have been angry. I wasn't angry, Aaron. That man suffered. And he did what the only thing he could think of at the time to end his suffering. And it was the wrong thing to do. You know? So please, ask for help. There's the Samaritans. There's your GP. You know, local charities. I'm sure there's mental health charities in the UK. It's the same as in Ireland, to ask for help. And you know, I'll just say, look, I'm not fine today. I'm struggling. And the problem with me for the last 6 years, that I put on this brave mask every day. And I pretend that I'm okay. And I never allow myself to say I'm not. But I know it seems silly, but making the YouTube videos has helped me in a way, has given me something to get up and do, you know? Get up and do. Give me a reason to get up and do something, that's what I mean. And I do love reading all your comments. And I do love making the videos. Just that sometimes if I do be unwell a little bit sometimes as well, but I'm just saying that I'm going to promise to try and upload more regularly. And I'm going to go for help myself. because I'm sick and tired of feeling like this. Now I know I'll never get over Clodagh. I definitely know that, because no parent should ever bury their child. And I'll never get over Freddie. But I have to learn to live with this. Live with these two big holes in my heart. But I'd never want anybody to go through what I did with the suicide bereavement. So please, I'm begging you, if anybody is out there and you're not coping and you genuinely think your family's going to be better off, they're not going to be. These people want you in your life. You're worth something to them. They love you. Just remember that. Everybody is loved by somebody. And even sometimes wish that my Freddie could have realised that. Anyway, listen, thanks very much for watching my video. And I don't want to be upsetting anybody, but I just thought, that I'd come on and just say a bit about myself. And I don't know whether I might leave this up, I might delete it, I'm not sure yet. But listen, just take care of yourselves and remember, get help if you need it. You don't have to suffer alone, okay? Listen, take care everybody. Goodbye.